I get a call from a 305 number. Who the hell is this? I'm gonna answer it. It's 305. You know, I know it's not nobody's calling. No scammers or spammers are calling on a Sunday night, you know, from 305.
That's true.
It's not about to be an insurance company or a collector's call calling me right now. Answer it. Yo, it's Timbo. Bruh. I started hyperventilating. I'm like, yo, what's up, man? You know, I started literally, and I ran to my little studio. And I sat there. I spoke to Timbaland for an hour, bro. And we spoke about God. We spoke about, I remember him telling me like, yo, you're different. I just feel your spirit. Like there's something different about you, bro. And I believe in you. Your sound is different. You're a pop producer. You hear stuff. I mean, well, let me rewind a little bit. My influences growing up, it was a lot of Mexican music. It was the cleaning music, you know, the ranchero music, it was that type of vibe that my mom had me. So I wasn't necessarily exposed to a lot of like R&B classics and like soulful stuff till later on. Even hip hop, like my mom didn't let me hear that. The closest thing I had was like this Mexican rock band called Maldita Vecindad, which were like very vulgar rock. And she would break my tapes and my dad would give me another one. And it was like my influences growing up were like so different, you know? And then my cousin exposes me to Dr. Dre, The Chronic, and that was life-changing. Kid Rock, like all these vibes that obviously had a lot of curse words and mom was not happy with, but that was when my mind was like, yo, this is crazy. I'm like, yo, I could put beats on this guitar, you know, that these guitar chords I'm coming up with, I could put nice little drum sounds and piece it together. So my boy Antonio Jeremiah, I go over to his house and he plays this Jay-Z DVD. He plays that famous clip of Timbaland. And I was like, yo, that is it right there. If you look at that clip, all those beats are like, there's like ethnic, like Arabic sound. And I'm drawn to that because of my Mexican background. Like that sounds like different to me. And the drums were so different. The sonics, I was like, yo. And then I started digging into Tim. And then I realized, oh, he's the one doing Aaliyah. He's the one doing Missy. I'm like, yo, this is like God. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this is ultimate. Here you have this producer dressing up this world music in this crazy way with these knocking like drum sounds that you weren't hearing anywhere else. I fell in love with that. I'm like, yo, this guy is literally my hero. This is my idol. I want to be doing these type of beats. I remember I started working at this car lot with my best friend's dad. My best friend had passed away and he hooked me up. He gave me money in advance. I'm like, I need to buy a Mac. You know, I need to get on Logic. So can you just front me? I'm going to help you out with the lot, establish it, whatever. Can you just front me the payment?
Again, no money at the time.
No
really,
money at
right?
all, man. Like, honestly, I was like hustling, man. Like, I remember selling like raspados, which is the icy, the Mexican icy. Like, I had so many hustles just trying to figure out because I wasn't lazy. I worked at Guitar Center. And what's crazy is I ran into Josh Dunn the other day. He's the drummer of 21 Pilots. He was the manager at the time.
Come on, bro.
Guitar Center. Yeah. Dude, it's funny. I always run into him at LAX. And shout out to him and Joseph, man. They're incredible band. Incredible people. From Columbus, Ohio. Which I
had no idea they were from Ohio, though.
Yeah, bro. They're right there.
That's crazy.
And I ran into him at the airport. When was it? I was heading to Miami to work with Jack. And we talked about that. I was like, yo, you're my manager, bro. That's crazy. By the way,
stories like that are kind of why I created the podcast platform, bro.
Bro, it's wild.
Just to know what's possible when you start out in these situations, man, it never gets old.
Life is unpredictable, man. And you just don't know. You never know.
Let's pick it back up in a timeline.
I'm in Guitar Center, and bro, it's funny. Like I probably lasted there 2 months because I'd make beats in the back. My mind was like, I was there to make music and take advantage of the Mac computer that was fresh and that had all the plugins. Awesome. So I would literally go and I'd take a little flash drive and I'd make the beats and then take them with me.
Talk to us about relational currency.
Relational currency. So it's this whole concept of investing in your relationships. It's not necessarily with the ends of what can I get back out. It's not that, because it's like when you go put money in the bank, it's not like what can I get out of it. It's not like you get, you might get some interest, whatever, but it's more of investing and nurturing that relationship. And that's something that is so undervalued. You know, some people just call you out the blue and nah, it's like invest. How are you? That's an investment. Not because you're going to need a favor later, but it's just an investment in that relationship.
Just being a human first and foremost.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But if you coin it, it's relational currency in terms of, it's like a garden. You know what I'm saying? You got to protect.
Bro, one of my closest friends has been using the word garden nonstop for the last month,
You got to.
That's amazing.
It's a plant. You know, plants are beautiful. They're life. It's like you got to invest in your relationships, and it's not to get a return. You know,
it's just period, just to invest.
It's pure to invest, because if that relationship is good, you're good. You're building a culture around it. You're building this phenomenal garden around you that's going to keep you alive. And Chris is a great dude that I admire. He has a great track record. He's involved with Chasing Cash, who I look up to. He's another producer. I was like, yo.
In my opinion, like, you just try and stay close to good people. Like,
that's
it's like
it.
simple
and
math.
I've always been attracted to just good people.
Yeah.
I was trying to get in, man. I knew I had a sound. You think back, whatever you're about to do, right?
Yeah.
You think, I'm ready. And then you go back and think, I wasn't ready.
Bro. And you could be talented and skilled at what you're doing, and you're like, I thought that was going to be the door that was going to, you know what I mean? And then that door closes on you. You know, we were playing the Benny cassette, cool animation piece.
That was amazing.
You saw in that little video, man, closed door, closed door, closed door. Like, imagine, like, dude just like threw in the towel. Can you imagine right now, like, how many people that next door might have been the door that would have changed it for them?
You've seen that meme of the guy digging and he's about to literally break through and he turns around.
I got chills right now.
I mean, bro, that's such a powerful image, because that happens every day to people. And it almost happened to me. 2010, Timbaland goes to Columbus, Ohio for Shock Valley tour. So I had to be there. I had no money. I snuck into the show. I showed up super early and snuck through the back and pretended I was part of crew with she's my wife now, with my girl. And she was down. She's like down, man. She was like, all right, let's do it.
I love it.
We show up. I recognize Marcus, his cousin, aka manager, and Marcus Spence. You know, I had looked it up. Who's the manager? Marcus Spence.
So you just saw his image online.
He had a Bluetooth, big gray coat, and I handed him this beat tape. I was like, yo, I made it. Like, I gave it to Tim's manager.
Bro, let me get a pound on that. Bro,
I really did. To me, I thought I had it then. Remember, I told you, I was like, that beat tape, to me, I was like, I got the vibes in there. I probably didn't, you know? There was probably some cool stuff, but now I think about it, I'm like,
you weren't ready. You weren't ready.
I wasn't ready. And I see why that tape probably never made it to his ears. And thank God, because you fast forward a few years later and it was a little bit different, you know? So that was 2010. Come to 2014. I'm like, all right, it's time to get married. I love this girl. This woman has been amazing. She's beautiful. She's smart. She's supportive. She is incredible. And it's time to do this. So we do a destination wedding because it was the cheapest option. Hop on a flight, stop in Miami. And I grabbed $1,000 cash and I went to go change it for pesos. And dog, I handed the money, and on the corner of my eye, I see this car zooming into the gate right next door in Miami. If y'all been to Miami, it's in gate. It's in the American Airlines terminal. And there's this currency exchange and there's a gate right next to it. I forgot exactly what gate, but Timbaland, dog, with a big ass security guard, just rolls right there. And I remember just turning around, my jaw dropped. I'm like, this is it. This is the moment. I'm going to get him right here. This is it. Because I'm getting ready to go get married. And in my mind is like, it's time to get real. I had a diamond dealing book. My dad's a jeweler in Mexico. My uncle is here. And
I read that about you. You were going to follow that path for a minute. I was going
to follow that path. So this is where I'm saying that I reached that wall. Bro, I had nothing for this girl. When I went to go ask her hand in marriage, you know, my mother-in-law, rightfully so, was not supporting.
Wow.
Rightfully. It was a very hard encounter when I showed up, and I was humbled. And I feel this woman, I feel what she's saying. I feel her concern. You know, I have nothing, literally nothing. I'm about to start going to school for diamond dealing. God knows how that's going to go. It takes years to be able to do something like that. And I'm starting.
But that was going to be a rough road for a minute for sure.
Oh, I mean, it was going to be a grind. I was getting ready to really dive in there. And I was like that dude in that meme, about to break through and hitting the wall and looking back and saying, this is it. Like, I think it's time to, you know, turn around and dig a different tunnel. Timbaland goes across, and I remember I I forgot about the money. I'm pretty sure the lady that was in there was like, "Hey, sir, your money, your pesos." Bro, I turned around and I was like, the first thing I could say, bro, I'm like, "Yo, can I get a picture?" He was running late. I remember posting on Facebook like, "Mr. Timbaland, I hope you made your flight." And it was like, that's it, you know, there went Timbaland. But to me, that was a big nudge.
I'm getting emotional right now. That's crazy.
Bro, it was wild.
That moment was a real moment for you.
Bro, it was wild. It was wild. It was literally a nudge that I didn't see coming from God. Just like, yo, you might want to stay in a little bit. You might want to not hang up the gloves yet. I go back to the gate and I'm almost in tears. Somehow like, yo, I just saw Timbaland, babe. Like, yo, this is crazy. Look at this picture I got of him. And this Tim, like, super, I think he was heading to like an award show or something, because he was swagged out. He looked like some Matrix, like long coat, glasses, just like Timbo, you know? That encounter right there was just like constantly in my mind, that whole flight to Cancun. And that was like the conversation, you know, to my then fiance, just like, man, that was Timbaland. That's crazy. At that time, Tim had like 100,000 followers. Surprisingly, I don't think that the blue checks existed yet. And I remember it was like winter, like December 2014. I remember I had this one beat and I would never post it. I got encouraged by Illmind. Illmind already had the that honestly helped me get back into the beat making culture, because he'd had these black kids and he'd post these contests. My boy Tony Topbox would post beat clips, and I'm like, maybe I should put a couple beat clips. I put one beat clip up. And my wife tagged Timbaland.
She tagged Timbaland.
Yeah, she went on the comments and said, "You have to check out Angel Lopez, And then she commented on my video, tagged Timbaland a few times. Timbaland follows me, dog. And I was like, nah, this shit ain't Timbaland.
It's got to be one of the fake Timbaland accounts, right?
This is some bullshit. Tim ain't following me. I get DM. Like, you got more beat clips. I'm like, man, this can't be Timbaland. But you know what? It might be Timbaland. Who knows? Start sending him beat clips, bro. So at this time, I was selling shoes, bro. I started selling Kobe shoes, and I'd make like $900 a week. The first pair of shoes I ever lined up for was a pair for Kobe's. I stood at the mall for 17 hours, bro, so I could get this pair. And then I had my little brother show up, and I made some cool friends, man. Then, just, you know, in the shoe game. Before it was what it was now. Now it's crazy. Everybody just buys to resell.
Now it's all bots.
I did it the hard way. I went and lined up. I gave people some commission to go stand in line with me. It started like it was being shaky. And then my wife was working at Applebee's. Out of nowhere, he gives me an email, you know, and I'm like, man, this is definitely not Tim. His email's that obvious. Nah, this ain't Tim. This guy is bullshitting me, man. Bro, I went with it. And my wife literally looked at me and said, look, take this year off. I got us. I'm going to work Applebee's. I got us. Bro, this girl went and worked double shifts at Applebee's to make ends meet and be able to pay, you know, the bills, bro. And she was bringing in, she's beautiful, one. And she's such a nice person. She had like regulars come in, and she was bringing in some money that, you know, where we were living, we were still paycheck to paycheck, but not worried like that. Like, she probably brought in more money than I was, you know what I'm saying? But she literally looked at me and said, hey, focus on the music. You have your hero's attention. You don't know what's going to happen. Just focus. I got us. For that, I'm forever grateful, man, because she is the cornerstone of my relationship. You know,
beautiful.
She's crucial part of my life. And not only because of that, just the simple friendship I have with her is
what's her name again?
Amira.
Shout out Amira.
Yeah,
thank you for bridging that gap, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So she held it down, man. And it was every day to me. It was get up, make beats, send the clips to Tim, until he gave me the email.
She was there to bridge that gap for you. And what I want the listeners to take away is sometimes God will put people on our path to keep us going. Doesn't have to be our wife or our brother. It could be a friend. It could be a pastor.
Anyone. Bro,
and it's just,
every interaction counts.
We don't think about that enough, man, because that would blow our minds if we really thought about that.
It would.
Okay.
It would. You don't realize till after. And then you go back and say, oh, that's why that person or this situation.
Absolutely, man. And that just needs to be hammered home right now.
I mean, bro, big time. I mean, because we're human. We see just what's in front of us, and we don't really think big picture. But those type of things taught me to think big picture and move from big picture mentality. It's marathon mentality. It's not a race. And the sooner you develop that, bro, that's a Chico. You want to talk about the codes that Pharrell's talking about? That is the code, man. It's thinking long term, thinking.
You can look at the camera when you're saying this, bro. That's for them right there, right? Yeah, that's
big picture mentality.
Codes. Big picture.
Big code. That's like super cheat code in life, man. That's what it was, man. It was focusing on that, sending beats now to the email. And Tim would respond like, yo, fire. He'd be like, yo, that's hot. Yo.
I just got this image you're thinking in your head, like, is this really a 16-year-old kid in like Pensacola, Florida?
Every time. But I'd get excited because, okay, Tim, it's Tim's Instagram to the email and he's replying. Let's go back to my friend Gildy, right? He started getting into film composing and he's incredible. And I had Tim's email and I was like, yo, I'm going to give you Timbaland's email. And you're not going to tell him where you got the email from, because I don't want to be that guy that's passing around his email. I didn't know how Tim would probably not care, because Tim loves getting and meeting new producers. Like, he loves that. He feeds off of the culture of producers and the new kids. He loves that. He's really that guy. He's always welcoming, right? So he probably wouldn't have tripped, but I didn't know that. I didn't know Tim like that. And I remember telling him, like, yo, email him. Just email him and say, I'm a film composer. I'm not a producer. Have you ever thought about doing film? Blah, blah, blah. Next day, I'm in church and Gildy calls me pretty much crying like, yo, I just got off the phone with Timbaland. I was on the phone with him for 3 hours. I hadn't gotten a call, but then I knew, like, it is Timbaland. And I was like, man, I'm so happy.
Because now you know it's real.
And now I know it's real, but more than anything, it's my friend. And I wasn't holding back. I didn't care if I didn't feel any type of way that he got the call from Tim right away. I knew that was going to happen because Gil's sound, like, you're talking about like film and you're sending that to Timbaland. And Timbaland is a massive, like, the way he explains music is through movies. Like, working with him, he'd be like, yo, we got to do it like Black Mirrors. It's got to feel like that. So he'll give you these crazy visuals.
That's amazing, by the way.
It's genius. I mean, the man is like something else, So now I know it's real. Now I know, okay. I'm like, you sure it was him? He's like, yeah. He was like, yo, it's Timbo with the D voice. I'm like, yo, it is him. Oh, shoot. So I get home from church, Grammy time, right? And I had sent a beat. I remember I sent a few beats that day or whatever. Watching the Grammys and Sam Smith's performing. I think it was Stay he was performing.
Yeah, that sounds right. 2015 now we're talking, right?
Yes. Yep. I get a call from a 305 number. Who the hell is this? I'm gonna answer it. It's 305. I know it's not nobody's calling. No scammers or spammers are calling on a Sunday night, from 305.
That's true.
It's not about to be an insurance company or a collector's call calling me right now. Answer it. Yo. It's Timbo. Bruh. I started hyperventilating. I'm like, yo, what's up, man? I started literally, and I ran to my little studio and I sat there. I spoke to Timbaland for an hour, bro. And we spoke about God. We spoke about, I remember him telling me like, yo, you're different. I just feel your spirit. Like, there's something different about you, bro. And I believe in you. Your sound is different. You're a pop producer. You hear stuff different. You're not there yet. But I got you. I'm going to groom you.
Those were his words.
Those were his words. And I remember him sending me a text after and saying, I called my mom and I told her that I just, connected with you. And this is like a friendship sent from God. I didn't know what he meant then. Now, when I think about it, Tim was going through it then. He's in the middle of a divorce. He's in the middle of a battle with addiction. And I didn't know that then, though.
Wow.
But I'm like, yo, I'm going to pray for you, because I was deeply involved in my church and I would send him sermons.
You didn't know that he was going through this chapter, though?
No, I didn't know.
But you just felt like I should pray for this dude?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to pray for him because, in church, that's what you want to do. You want to pray for people. And genuinely, it's not sending a prayer emoji. It's genuinely sitting down in your thoughts and opening up your communication to God and really praying. And I asked my pastor, please pray for Timbaland. It wasn't even like pray for him to bring me in. It was pray for the man. I know these artists go through stuff. I know, Hollywood is crazy, bro. It drives artists.
Why you think we got this podcast going,
I mean,
dude?
bro, it really
and
is.
The thing is, you know, I call this podcast, bro, Connection is Magic, because most people won't let you in on what's going on behind the scenes. First part of the conversation, like, it's through sharing and connecting with our fellow man. That's where we get our sustenance from.
Big time, bro.
Bro, it's spiritual
you
food.
have to.
Yeah.
It's so important.
Who's the first person you call after this amazing Timbaland call?
I mean, I just told my wife, I was crying. I'm like, I got the call. And I don't know where this is going, but this is because you're doing double shifts. This is because you're supporting this. And I got a call from Timbaland and he told me. And then seeing that text of him saying, I just spoke to my mom about you. I mean, this is Timbaland. He doesn't have to call me, bro. He doesn't have to tell me that he talked to his mom about it. That he literally told me I felt a God connection through it. And I feel like that's why my friendship and relationship with Tim is so strong. Like we become great friends. He's not only my mentor, like he's my friend. Like I'm there for him when he needs whatever he needs. I got his back.
So back to this thing. So you're at the mall, you're
Harbor,
waiting for Tim.
Yeah. He's like, meet me at this place called Carpaccio. So I waited for a while. He ended up like being delayed, but man, I wasn't tripping. It was hot as hell.
Not, yeah.
Bro, the true story, it was so hot that I went and chilled in the fucking restroom, bro. Like, excuse the language. I was chilling. It was so hot in Miami. I'm a big guy, bro. Yeah. This is August, dead summer in Miami. I was going in a restroom waiting for him. And then I went into different stores pretending I was about to buy. I didn't have money. I had nothing, bro. I thought I was paying for my I had no clue. So Tim shows up and we had dinner and it was amazing.
So talking through this moment when Tim first walks up, man, are you a school kid excited, right? I mean, you must have
real,
been.
Bro.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you the picture. The first picture we took outside Carpaccio.
Please, we'll post it with the episode.
Yeah, bro. And it was like full circle. I'm like, yo, we're here. I'm like, we're really here. And then the crazier part after is like, where are you staying? I'm like, well, you know, my wife and them are in downtown right now, like Biscayne Bay or whatever. He's like, I'm going to drop you off. So Vaughn pulls up, his driver, friend for years of Tim's, and he pulls up in the Maybach. He's like, all right, jump in. So I jumped in, and I remember on the seat in the Maybach, there was a black sock with pills, you know? And I still didn't put two and two together. I didn't know, you know what. I didn't know Tim was going through stuff. He was just such a good dude, man. Just open, just wanting to work and wanting to tap in with the youth. Yeah, he gives me a ride. First song he plays is Coldplay, Midnight, in the Maybach. I'm like, you like Coldplay? He's like, yeah, that's my boy. Chris is my boy. We heard the whole song. One of my favorite Coldplay records. So that's a full circle moment too. Wife walked the aisle to Yellow. I proposed to her to Yellow. Like, Coldplay is my favorite band, hands down.
This is too crazy.
It's wild, bro. I still scratch my head, you know, but I'm grateful. I'm just in a grateful place, you know, in life where I'm just like, I take it and I say, thank you, God.
I'm just like, thank you, God, for letting me hear this story, bro.
Yeah,
like,
it's like those far-fetched, but it's possible.
This is like spirit food. That's what I call this. Just hearing this story, bro. It's amazing. You're a church guy, right?
Yeah,
so your test will be your testimony. Your mess will be your message. I believe in that wholeheartedly, bro.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
Big time, bro. So yeah, we ride back and then he starts playing some unreleased stuff like Tink. And I was like, I want traffic, but it's Sunday in Miami. There's no traffic.
Yeah.
You know, and he dropped me off and man, that was a pretty dope experience. You know, we talked about God again and he pretty much said, he's like, I'm gonna keep you around me and I'm gonna groom you. Like, I'm gonna teach you how to be a producer. I didn't always think about me. I always thought I'm gonna do this with a team. It's a squad. It's the Lakers. It's not Kobe. It's Kobe and Shaq. You know what I'm saying? There's always a team. There's always a team behind everything, bro.
I can't tell you how many people have come on this podcast who've done really cool things, and they all stress that point right there. All of them, bar none, say, yo, you can't do it on your own. Like, everybody.
There's not a man out there that's successful on his own. Yo, I'm sitting in the chair, first session with Timbaland, and I turn around and open the door at Studio A. The door's over here for Hit Factory, and I see Scott's Storage. I'm like, yo, nah, he's in the wrong room. They got beef. They got beef.
Oh, they got beef?
Back in the day, back in the day, they had beef. They had the piano man beef, the real producer, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
You know, back in the day, I mean, it made it entertaining then, but they're super tight now. They're actually, I mean, I can't say much, but we worked a lot together with Scott Storch, Timbaland or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, he's in the wrong room. Oh, he was there.
He was there for this session that this is your first real session with, bro.
And I got Timbaland and Scott
that's
Storch.
crazy.
Dog, I was in the clouds. I look over to my side and I see Scott Storch bopping, and then Tim doing his thing on a push right next to me. And right after the session, gave me his number, and I'm great friends with Scott Storch. Crazy. I was just with him the other night with Ron Isley, which was insane. He called me. He's like, "Yo, pull up." He calls me La Bamba.
La Bamba, that's amazing.
Scott Storch La Bamba. And I love Scott Storch. It's someone I admire so much, like his story and his journey as well.
When Steve Lobel, his manager, came on the podcast, he had just started working with him. Steve was talking about people doubted him, counted him out, and all that. Scott's been through the ringer, bro. Yeah.
And I got to see him get out of it and be, because I got to work with Scott Storch a lot after. I came out and stayed at his house a little bit over a month. And I got to kick it with him and chill with his fam and like be there with his dogs.
He's really come out a better man from that whole experience, right?
Amazing. He said the other day I saw him, he looks so good. He looks like he mentally peace. He's got his son.
It's incredible.
And to see him like that is so like gratifying, like as a fan and as a friend. And the same with Tim. When I went to Tim's house in March, for the first time I went to his house, bro, I was almost in tears. I called him. I'm like, bro, I'm so happy for you. Like going through a divorce is hard, but when you're at a certain level, there's a lot more things involved.
Scrutiny on it, for sure.
Yeah, way more. You got the spotlight. You got blogs. You got,
Yeah.
That was probably real hard for him.
You're going to dig this quote that I've recently been thinking about a lot, which is, some storms weren't sent to like rock our world. They were sent to clear a path.
Big time.
You see what I mean?
That's beautiful. Yeah. That's beautifully said. Big time. All the time. You just don't know it.
You don't know it.
Because we see one dimensional.
We got that limited human thing, which goes back to your gem earlier, which you made sure to point in the camera, which I liked. And you're like, biggest cheat code is zooming out and remembering big picture.
Big picture.
You know what I mean?
Big picture. I was just on the phone with my friend Mark Abrams, who runs Pure Mix now, and he was one of the first people that helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
And he was talking about that video that you're in the park and it zooms out Earth and then the galaxy and then the other galaxy and you just realize like
that's everybody's life.
Yeah, big time.
That's a trip, bro.
It's wild, bro.